is just because I think I've been thinking that I need like a high concept for all of my videos, which is not necessarily true. The thing about ASMR is that it is the most helpful when it is at the most mundane, I guess, but like mundane has bad context to it, but like when it's down to earth, I guess I should say, at least for me. So I thought I'd light up the candle, this Moroccan oud candle that I've been using quite a bit, and just have it flickering, and we can do this sort of bedtime lo-fi ASMR by candlelight. You can also see my very floofy hair. It is quite long. You can see it. Let's see, can I show you how much snow is on my neighbor's roof? Nope. No. Is this? Can I press it down here? Yeah, there we go. There we go. You can kind of see how much snow is on my neighbor's roof. So you can kind of see that in the background as well. So I thought this would be a pretty unique location to film. So for the check-in, you'll probably see me shifting a lot. This is in the check-in, but you'll probably see me shifting a lot because when I'm in like bedtime mode, I shift quite a lot. I am a very squirmy person who's just, it's not like, I wouldn't say that I have trouble sleeping, but generally I toss and I turn a lot before I find like a super comfortable position for myself. So it is kind of like weird in that way where I do not have a lot of quiet in my body. You know what, maybe I do this. There we go. There we go. That works a little bit better because now I can like prop myself up on my elbows. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right. For the check-in, 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 not the chicken, the check-in, not the chicken, the check-in, the check-in, the check-in. I wanted to make sure that you are getting out to see some people that you love, some friends, some family, some loved ones, whoever it might be. I just wanted to make sure that you are seeing them, I think getting into a new year, a new semester, a new quarter at work, depending on what you do for work, sometimes the new year can be stressful getting like started, and then once you settle into a routine, it can be easy to say like, oh well, I'll do something with you next week, and then next week becomes the week after that, and then so on and so forth. So I just want to make sure that you are at least keeping in touch with the people that you love, I know I have been lucky enough to see somebody who I really, really, really love, a very, very good friend of mine I was lucky enough to see, and that just makes me like, it warms my heart, honestly. It makes me so happy to have seen her and to have just like sort of talked with her, especially because it's been like a long time, simply because of like my tendency to self-isolate. So I just want to make sure that if you have that similar tendency, that it's not sort of getting to you, or that you are at least sort of recognizing that pattern. You are at least sort of like recognizing that pattern. Sorry if you've seen like a couple of very suspicious cuts. I've been yawning. I guess I'm tired. I don't know. Like, it's not even necessarily that late, but you know, I think life is a lot sometimes. Like, it's hard to imagine sometimes, like, if this is what I'm going through, what other people must be going through. It's kind of wild to think about, like, the fact, and this is the reason why I don't understand, like, how people believes you're on an upswing, because like it's just life. I think life has stressors in it, and especially life these days. There's a lot of stressors in it. I always tell people that like productivity is a myth, because like productivity also makes us feel stressed when we're not at work, like on days off. You still have this weird looming guilt of like, well, I'm not being productive. I need to like do housework, or I need to clean the bathrooms, or I need to like do this, this, and that. But really, I think that's a really, like I said, that is a bit of a myth, because I think it should be far more focused on what you're doing as you, rather than like what value you are creating, because life is not about value creation, and it certainly shouldn't be about wealth creation for people who do not need more wealth. But anyway, that's like a philosophy discussion that I don't think we need to have at 9:30 p.m. At night, or whenever you're watching this. But I would definitely be happy to talk about philosophy at some other point. I have recently gotten into, well, when I say recently, it's been like a year now, but I've gotten into philosophy very, very deeply as of late, and it is so much fun to explore and to like get into, and to like think about all this stuff that people have, well, thought beforehand. I don't know like how best to put it, but it's just, philosophy is such an interesting field that way, that it can be like it's very thought-provoking, and I understand that's by nature. It's thought-provoking by its very nature, but I also think that it's interesting to think about some of the questions that philosophy brings up, and like some of the morality that philosophy brings up, and all this kind of stuff, where it's like, where it's really interesting to think, like, for example, I'm close to finishing that Henry David Thoreau book, and like, while I don't agree with everything, it is really interesting to think about like a person who took essentially a holiday from life and lived out in the woods for a couple years just for the hell of it. And it's really thought-provoking of like, wow. And then like how he wrote about it and all this kind of stuff is just very fascinating to me. So I think that's the reason why I talk about this kind of stuff quite a bit, is because it's just so like entrancing in a way, and even like other kinds of philosophies. Like I got Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and that is like basically a founding work of a school of philosophy called Stoicism, and it's kind of like the document for Stoics out there, and it's just fascinating because this dude wrote this in his personal journal, never meaning for it to be published, and now it's like essentially an advice diary, and like, and he didn't even mean for it to be that. He was just kind of like writing himself like a diary, essentially. So it's fascinating to think about like what we consider important, and like what we consider to be like a thought that deserves to be given weight and consideration. And I don't know, philosophy is just fascinating. I think I might have said this on the channel before, but per semester. So it's just wild. Like an entire year of my schooling used to cost $500 less than what a year of school costs today. And like for me, that was full course load. Like I think $7,500 I think is like 4 courses or something like that, because I was talking with a friend who is in university, and it's like, that's just wild. But there's another place where philosophy comes in. Like, is it ethical to charge people that much money when they were easily charging people far less money and operating at the same quality? Just, yeah, I don't know. It's something that is just so interesting to think about and like get into. But anyway, I think that this video is turning into a ramble. I thought I was going to do like a my favorites kind of thing, but then I realized I didn't have like props for it, and so I think that's probably why I subconsciously started rambling in the video, because generally if I film a ramble, it is because it was going to be one kind of video and then it turned into a ramble because I just can't shut up sometimes, which is a beautiful quality of mine that I am learning to love and accept. It has gotten me very far in life. But yeah, I've also wanted to do a trigger words with props video. I wanted to do like a night routine video, although my night routine, like I don't really have much of a routine when it comes to skincare and stuff like that. But I have like products that I swear by. I also probably don't do my routines how they should be done because I lack consistency in terms of what time of day I'm doing it at. Like my first like face wash of the day is generally pretty much at the same time, give or take like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. But like the end of the day skin routine, sometimes it happens like right before bed, and then sometimes it happens like after I get home and I've done like my organizing and stuff like that. So like about an hour or an hour and a half after I get home, and I take a shower, and then I just wash my face in the shower. So it's kind of haphazard. Also, there's no rhyme or reason to why I use certain products on certain days for certain things versus not using them. I'm just gonna plug in my laptop here, and like I know that's sort of a cardinal sin. Like consistency is what you need for a skincare routine, but also a lot of my products that I use are similar, if not comparable. Like I use a lot of very gentle products on my face, so I think at least I tell myself that that is positive and that I don't need to use anything else. But yes, I've been wanting to film a routine video, like a skincare video. I've been wanting to film another plant video because I just got 2 more plants. It's a problem. It's absolutely a problem, but it's a problem that I'm happy to have because I just keep adding members to the family. I also wanted to do like a repotting video, but I think I'm gonna save that for spring or something like that, because there's nothing that I really need to repot, and it's not like I'm gonna repot something just for the hell of it, and I would probably just be using the same pot anyway, mostly because I love the pot that I've got for this plant right now. But yeah, I think that a lot of the time, like I said at the beginning of this video, I think that there has to be some like high concept to things, and sometimes it can just be like this sort of down to earth, you and I chatting here for a little while, and it generally turns to like philosophy or me talking about capitalism or whatever. But you know what? Who life without sparkle to me would be life without like oxygen or something. I swear to God, I love sparkles. I also am loving the fact I said that this candle was getting dimmer. I think it's getting slightly brighter, or at least it's like flickering a lot more. Like fire is such a fascinating thing because like if you get over how bright it is, you can like I could watch a flame for hours probably. It's just such like an interesting thing how it's like I don't know because fire is a plasma. Fun fact, but it's just such an interesting thing to just observe, especially how a candle flame just sort of like dances around on its wick, and that's just how it is, and it's like super hot. It's just such an interesting process that fire is. I don't know. This is probably me starting to speak tiredly, but yes, I've got to just put on my hand and nail treatment cream before I go to bed. I don't need the hand and nail treatment cream anymore, but I have some left over from when I worked at Starbucks. I'm finding that, thank God, I can actually just use like regular old hand cream, like this stuff that I've was using, like this spiced orange body shop stuff, that I used in my tapping videos and that I sometimes use when I'm doing videos at my desk. That stuff is great, but even it is like a little bit heavy duty for what I need it for now. So I'm just so happy to be able to use like regular old hand creams, like Johnson's Baby Lotion hand cream. It's just so nice to be able to not have to worry about like cracked dry hands or like my hand and nail treatment cream. But this hand and nail treatment cream that I'm using up, I always use it like on the like close to the end of the week, so that my hands over the weekend will be like really nice and pretty. So